This is a moment nobody here imagined 6 months ago. But ask these doctors, nurses, and other EIRMC workers why they're lined up on a cold afternoon outside the NICU, and they'll tell you it's because of a baby, a mother, and their unbelievable will to survive.
Náuseas, vomito, no los tuve.
For Nancy Hernandez, it started with a cough.
My mom never really felt sick.
It was the end of March, and this mother of 6, with one on the way, was feeling tired and thought she had a cold. She came home from work exhausted after a long day waitressing when a friend stopped by.
She had an oximeter. We put it on my mom, and her oxygen was at 76. When minimum, it was supposed to be at 90 because she was pregnant.
Nancy needed to go to the hospital. She was taken to EIRMC, diagnosed with a severe case of COVID-19, and admitted to the ICU.
She was in severe respiratory failure. When you're that sick with COVID, we have to keep the patients very deeply sedated and paralyzed.
Doctors placed Nancy in a medically induced coma, worried for her and her baby. It was March 26th, and she wasn't due for 4 months. Nancy couldn't breathe and was placed on a ventilator.
She had what we call barotrauma, where the lungs are so stiff and then the airways crack and you get a lot of air in the lung.
Paola Rojo, Nancy's 17-year-old daughter, was left to care for the younger kids at home. Medical staff were calling her daily with updates on her mom.
We don't have any other family around us. And well, when they started giving me news that my mom wasn't doing any better, like I didn't know what to think. I personally shut down.
While pregnant women with COVID have been hospitalized at EIRMC, the ICU has never seen an expectant mother's condition this bad. Nancy was not getting better, and 9 days after she was admitted, Dr. Kenneth Krell made a big decision.
Nancy deteriorated to the point where I was worried that we weren't getting enough adequate oxygenation to the baby.
A C-section in the ICU had never been done before. Nancy's baby was just 24 weeks gestation. And on April 4th, Dr. Krell, NICU Dr. Jordan Simpson, and others delivered a baby girl.
We didn't know exactly what we were going to get when she came out, but luckily when she came out, actually did pretty well.
Angelica Alvarez Rojo weighed 1 pound 6 ounces and was a little over 4 inches tall, about the size of a small water bottle. Do you remember when they took the baby?
Nothing.
Still in her coma, Nancy had no idea she had given birth, but she vividly recalls having dreams. In one, her father, who died of COVID in Mexico last September, visited, spent time with, and hugged her.
He told my mom, you have to be strong and you have to get up. You still have a lot of things to do.
Doctors worked to get Nancy better. She ballooned up with air trapped inside her body, so large incisions were made to help release it. There were some days she nearly died.
She certainly came close a number of times.
But on April 20th, nearly a month after being admitted, Nancy came out of her coma. Her brother was in her hospital room at the time.
He told my mom, the baby girl that they took out of you, she's doing good. And then at that moment, my mom touched her stomach and was like, baby girl, she was really confused. And then that's when she was like, oh yeah, I was pregnant.
Nancy tells me when she woke up, she had no emotions. She wasn't happy, sad, upset, or relieved. She was dull. She didn't laugh or cry, and she had no desire to see her baby.
The nurses would constantly ask her, do you want to go meet your daughter? Do you want to go meet your baby? Like, she's really pretty, she's beautiful. Come and meet her. My mom would be like, no, it's okay.
But as Nancy improved, Angelica's health took a turn.
24-weekers are at increased risk for what we call NEC, so it's a gut infection, having perforations of the gut. And unfortunately, she ended up having that.
In the past, preemies with this condition were flown to Primary Children's Hospital in Salt Lake City, but EIRMC now has a pediatric surgeon who was ready to perform the surgery on Angelica. It was risky, and this little baby needed her mother.
My mom remembers a nurse barging into her room. Nancy, your daughter, she's really sick, she's doing really bad. One of the doctors told her, hug her, kiss her, just love her. Because in a couple hours, I don't know what the outcome will be. At that moment, her emotions unlocked and she realized everything that was going on.
Nancy prayed Angelica would survive the operation and returned to her room in the ICU.
She really didn't think that Angelica was going to make it through.
But she did, and recovered from the surgery and other health challenges. So did Nancy. She was released from the hospital May 17th, 2 months after being admitted. Angelica couldn't go with her, so Mom continued to visit the NICU every day.
All right, you guys ready to go home?
Yeah.
And that brings us to this moment. 177 days after Angelica was born, it's finally time for her to go home.
I'm excited, but nervous and sad.
Definitely the longest one that we've had so far that we are discharging home. I luckily was there for delivery and now get to see her go home.
As happy as everyone is in the NICU, there's a little bit of sadness. This baby has been here 6 months and staff helped raise her.
It's work by a whole team.
Angelica will go home on oxygen and have regular visits to her pediatrician, but doctors hope she will live a normal life like any other kid.
My mom really does think that she really does have a special purpose, and my mom thinks that she also has a special purpose and she has something to finish up here too, because she feels like as if God sent her back so she could also finish taking care of all of her kids.
So you're gonna want 2 fingers on one?
As Angelica is placed in her car seat, EIRMC staff line up outside, waiting for an angel to come through these doors.
My second family here, because I know I have family here, but everybody is my family.
Gonna miss you guys.
Thank you.
Yep.